guard go up? I think they're
So-
putting those things up first, right?
Yep. So the kids come up. The bagpipers will play, and then they will walk off stage as all the kids get crowded in behind there. And then I will say, "Are you ready?" And then the kids raise the standards. I'll say, "We present to you." Then we do the pomp and circumstance. And then I'll bring Adrian up, and as I bring Adrian up, that's when I introduce the colors.
Okay. And I was thinking of is I could have them split like right behind the last row.
Okay.
That way they're
Ladies and gentlemen, please silence your cell phones and noisemakers until the conclusion of the ceremony. Good morning. I am Dr. Insoon Olson, the 8th principal of Northridge High School, and welcome to the commencement of the class of 2022. Northridge High School Grizzlies, class of 2022, are you ready? Parents, guardians, families, friends, and honored guests, we present to you the Northridge High School class of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in thanking the El Jabel Shrine Pipe Band for leading our procession this morning. Now may I have you please stand and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem by Senior Adrian Torones and the presentation of the colors by the Northridge High School Marine Corps JROTC Color Guard. The Color Guard will be commanded by Cadet Captain Christian Kinsley with Color Guard members Cadet Lance Corporal Ethan Kinsley, Cadet Lance Corporal James Fleming, Cadet Lance Corporal Brecken Anderson. Please remain standing until the colors have been retired.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. It is my pleasure to welcome and introduce our guests and administrators for our commencement ceremony, both on stage and behind the scenes. Board of Education President Michael Matthews, Board of Education Vice President Terry Pappas, Board of Education Director Natalie Mash, Board of Education Director Rob Norwood, Superintendent Dr. Deirdre Pilch, Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Schools Anthony Asmus, Assistant Superintendent of Academic Achievement Dr. Stacy Dattery, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources Annette Overton, Chief of Safety and Security John Gates, Greeley School Resource Officers, District 6 Communication Department, Facilities Department, and the administrators who came and supported us today. I would also like to thank Assistant Principal Marky Ramirez, Assistant Principal Jeff Collins, and Assistant Principal Adam Cohn, though he is celebrating with his own senior daughter today. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Grizzlies, you are the 20th graduating class of Northridge High School. 2 decades of students have walked across the stage before you, and yet your class is the most unique of all. Your 4 years were like no other. 20 years ago was the Human Genome Project, the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster. Kiko the orca was made famous by Free Willy movies, and Apple launched iTunes. Finding Nemo, Bruce Almighty, and Bad Boys 2 were the popular movies, and gas was only $1.85 a gallon. Oh, how things have changed. You started your high school career 4 short years ago, thinking that your high school life would be filled with dances, social events, hands-on projects and activities, playing instruments, going to events, and walking down hallways in any direction you want, and enjoying a fairly typical high school student life. And you were able to for your freshman year. Halfway through your sophomore year, the spring of 2020 changed everything. The pandemic significantly changed how we were required to do school, and we had to go fully remote right after spring break, and everything social that brought large groups of people to congregate was canceled. Your junior year started, and we were still under specific requirements, and yet you still managed to move forward and did your best with the expectations. You had to maneuver through full remote learning, hybrid remote and in-person learning, and attend in person 2 days a week. And yet you still came to school doing the best you could under these circumstances. You had to figure out how to find your voice through an online platform and how to interact with your peers through a Zoom box and/or through mask-covered faces. And yet, you came to school. You heard us talking about cohorting, 3 feet or 6 feet, tracing, Schoology, synchronous versus asynchronous learning, high-impact activities, and so on. Though fall was fairly restrictive, we started to see more and more options for what we thought would be normal type activities, and yet we still had to significantly modify events to meet the adjusted rules, thus the infamous prom of 2021. Some of you had significant losses in your families and/or amongst your friends, and we know that many were highly impacted throughout this time. We appreciate all that you did to remind us of what was important throughout all of this was you. We found that if we focused on your individual plan through high school while continuing to provide opportunities, remove barriers to our best capacity, and focus on learning, we could rise above all those policies and procedures as a Grizzly family so that you could engage and exceed your high school and post-secondary goals. This fall, you entered as seniors, and boy, were you excited to move forward from the past 2 years. Though we still had a few requirements around protocols, we started to see more of our Grizzlies rise and shine throughout their classes, their programs, and extracurricular activities. You walk through these hallways ready to wrap up that final chapter of your public school experience. You have shown tenacity through this year while balancing personal and academic commitments. You each have amazing abilities and skills that you can build from for years to come, and we are so excited to see all that you can be. Grizzlies, I appreciate all that you have done throughout your years at Northridge, and I could not be prouder of all that you have accomplished. Do not forget to look up from those devices, have face-to-face interactions, empathy for others, pause before you post, and laugh every day. I am humbled by all that you have had to endure and yet persevered, and here we are on your graduation day. Each of you are beautiful, talented, unique, and I am so proud of you. When you entered the building as freshmen, you started your high school experience with a rite of passage and gained the freshman symbol of self-esteem. Your sophomore year was the symbol to improve. Junior year was partnership, and finally, senior year, success. Now, graduates, you earn your final rite of passage symbol, Domain of the Grizzly. This poem was created by an original Grizzly, Mr. Kelly Gonzalez. Domain of the Grizzly, in the majestic forests of the Rocky Mountains resides a regal grizzly. The earth trembles at his approach. His muscles rip with each thundering step. Like the Rockies, he towers over his domain. Creatures great and small respect the grizzly, for his awesome strength is legendary, his agile quickness deceptive, confident and fearless, displaying his power as a warning, exhibiting fair judgment and discretion to those crossing his path. Only ill-mannered transgressors experience his mighty fury. Guardian of the animal kingdom, thriving in adverse conditions, symbol of pride, strength, endurance, respect, and triumph. Only those with honorable intentions and integrity can enter the domain of the grizzly. At this time, I would like to have those graduates who are first in their family to graduate from high school to please stand and be recognized. Congratulations, you did it. With the graduates who are first in their family to attend college, please stand and be recognized. Well done. With the graduates who will serve in the armed forces, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service to our country. With the graduates who will serve in any medical emergency services, please stand and be recognized. We need you more than ever. I would also like to recognize many individuals who have helped our graduates participate in today's commencement ceremony. First, I would like to recognize the amazing Northridge staff. It is an honor to work with you. Graduates, please stand. Face your family and celebrate those who are supporting you today. Please have a seat. Thank you, parents and guardians, for all the support you have provided your child over their years in high school. It takes a partnership between families and their school in order for every student to walk across the stage. Finally, and most of all, I would like to thank the class of 2022. It was my pleasure serving as your principal for the past 4 years. You made it. Congratulations. This year, we are honored to have Yesenia Casas Ramirez as our student speaker. Yesenia is the daughter of Lourdes Ramirez and Rufino Casas. Next year, Yesenia will be attending the University of Northern Colorado, where she'll be entering into their biomedical program as part of her path to medical school. Yesenia is involved at Northridge High School through her leadership with student council, as a link leader, as a member of Dream Team, and she also played soccer and softball for the Grizzlies.
Good morning. As I stand before you today, it is my pleasure to welcome families, friends, staff, faculty, and our very own graduating class of 2022. I also want to thank those who have worked very hard to help make this event possible, especially with the recent changes that we've had. Buenos días. Me presento ante ustedes el día de hoy y es un placer para mí dar la bienvenida a las familias, amigos, personal, a la facultad y a nuestra propia clase graduada de 2022. También quiero agradecer a quienes han trabajado mucho para ayudar a que este evento sea posible. These are the times we begin to reminisce and look back at our high school journey. We started off prepared, yet unprepared for what high school would truly be like. We thought it would be more like High School Musical, but at some point it seemed more like Phineas and Ferb, because similarly, we started spring break in 2022 and it didn't seem to end. How, you may ask? Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, history that we are still living through, an event that has impacted us all. So with that being said, let us pause for a moment of silence to honor our loved ones who couldn't be here with us today due to the many different circumstances that have affected us. Now, moving on to my fellow classmates. 13 years in school, 14 if you went to preschool, and look how far we've made it. This specific chapter is finally coming to an end, and as we turn the pages of this book, we're stepping into a new milestone in our lives. We all come from different backgrounds. We've seen each other grow up. Many of us have already parted ways and chosen our own paths. Yet we all face many challenges. Some had a hard time in geometry, while others had a hard time in the sport they decided to play. Whatever the case may have been, we have faced doubt and challenges. But despite this, just as Steve Harvey says, the survival rate for every one of our bad days is 100%. Being here today proves that we have made it through every difficult day we have ever faced, and for that I am proud. To be given the privilege to see each other walk across this stage is very memorable, and because of this, I want to congratulate us all for beating any odds over these 4 hectic years and being able to be where we are right now. For some of us, graduating creates and welcomes relief. To others, it brings joy yet sadness as we leave what we created behind. Yet the best of luck is in hope for all of us. I want to leave you with a piece of advice that my parents implemented in me growing up. It has pushed me to strive for success, and I hope many of you can take it and use it meaningfully. Échale muchas ganas, por nosotros que no pudimos. Ustedes tienen la oportunidad de ser algo grande. Todo esto que tienes al fin de cuentas vale mucho. El estudio que has recibido y las ganas que tienes es lo suficiente para ayudarte a lograr cualquier meta que tú quieras. Esas son las palabras de mi mamá y mi papá. Palabras de las personas más trabajadoras que yo conozco, que me han ayudado a luchar por el éxito. Espero que muchos de ustedes, igual como yo, puedan tomar estos consejos para salir adelante, which in English can be interpreted as, give it all you got. For those of us who couldn't, you have the opportunity to be something great. Everything you have right now is worth so much. The education and knowledge you have received and the desire you have is enough to help you reach any goal you want. So whether you decide to go into the workforce, armed forces, college, create your own business, or take some time to figure yourself out, never forget the potential you carry, no matter the obstacles that life puts in your way. You are the one who can determine your work, but you have to find what you love, so don't settle. The only way to be content is to explore and figure out what it is that you want. So take those opportunities, try something new, because as the great Hockey Hall of Famer Wayne Gretzky said, you miss every shot you don't take. Let me repeat that. You miss every shot you don't take. So be ambitious, apply for the job you always wanted, talk to the person you were too shy to talk to, travel the world, fall in love, win and lose fortunes, but do it all for a purpose. Learn from it, grow from it, and move on. Just never be afraid of failure. Take the risk. So yeah, we will all have bad days and face unsuccess, but to me the best part of failure is learning. It's the only way you can truly grow. Let us enjoy the rest of the ceremony and make this a proud and unforgettable day. Thank you all for joining us as we leave our mark as graduating seniors. Congratulations, class of 2022. And as we always say, once a Grizzly, always a Grizzly. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Yesenia. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the Class of 22 selected keynote speaker, Mr. Joshua Seamatter.
Happy graduation morning, everyone. Family, friends, community members, those who drove hours and hours to be here, and those who simply drove across town, thank you all for being here to celebrate the accomplishments of these graduates. Seniors, thank you for giving me the opportunity to address you all today. I'm humbled and I'm honored, and I'm so happy to be celebrating with your class. Graduation season's wonderful in this part of the world. There are so many institutions, both large and small, that are celebrating the accomplishments of people who have accomplished something significant in their lives, which in turn means they'll soon be starting something new. In particular, I love graduation mornings in May, when you can hear birds chirping, see trees blooming, and when you check the weather forecast and there's snow showers. Jeepers. It really is, though, quite fitting, because if there's anything these past few years have taught us, it's that we really can't ever be certain that we're going to get what we expect. One rather tall example is a guy drafted by the Denver Nuggets a few years ago during a Taco Bell commercial who just won his second consecutive NBA MVP last week. No matter all the data, analytics, surveys, information that is collected by people and companies all around the world every moment of every day, there are still surprises that happen all the time. We, human beings and computers alike, just can't know or predict every circumstance. This uncertainty that surrounds us every day is part of the magic of humanity, though. And for as long as people have been on this planet, we have done everything we can to attempt to bring some kind of order to the chaos that surrounds us. Whether it's stories, science, reason, or fate, we want the world around us to simultaneously be known and surprise us. We want unpredictability, but we want to be able to plan for it and work it into our schedules. We want paradoxes. With this in mind, it shouldn't be really much of a surprise at all that many of you have learned so much during these past 8 months at Northridge. 8 months, I know. Some of you did some quick math, a little bit of counting. That's not even a whole school year, I understand. Granted, you were supposed to learn from the very day you walked into preschool or kindergarten. And certainly dating back to the start of your freshman year, as teachers have attempted to get you to understand how to cross, multiply, and divide, how to use commas accurately, how to remember the order of events that lead up to the signing of the Declaration of the Independence, building a fitness plan, designing a room, measuring ingredients, utilizing code, finding out how genes work, memorizing something, sing or play an instrument on key or close to it, and create beautiful art using the supplies you're given. All those ideas are wonderful, and certainly they all have their merit. And for as hard as your teachers have worked, and for as hard as you all have worked, you are inevitably going to remember, misremember, and forget portions of all of it. So back to the 8 months. During a stretch of your educational lives, the world was radically disrupted, education included. A lot of the skills that you need to learn and traits you need to develop in school simply couldn't happen. Thankfully, 8 months ago, a simple computer program came along that changed the way many of you operated during your entire second semester. It taught some of you and reminded many of you how to strategize, find clues, work together, and it even made some of your vocabularies better, all of which are really important for your lives beyond Northridge. That's right, all those hours you devoted over the past months to Wordle made you more prepared for life. To be sure, we're all somewhat familiar with this game because I'm sure there are some folks who don't know what I'm talking about right now. I'll give you a brief overview, but ask your graduate later. They should be able to explain it pretty well, even if they've never played the game themselves. From Daniel Victor at New York Times, Wordle is a, quote, once-a-day game which invites players to guess a 5-letter word. After guessing a 5-letter word, the game tells you whether any of the letters are in the secret word and whether they're in the correct place. And you have 6 tries to get it right. At its very core, it's a simple word game. Yet this spring, I and many other teachers have watched this graduating class and other students do some amazing things that we really hadn't seen since before the pandemic started. For instance, you strategized. You figured out what strategy you were going to use, the way you were going to play, which words you would use to eliminate letters on the keyboard, or if your strategy was simply random guessing. You made plans on your own. You made plans for when you were going to play the game based on who else would be around and whether they could help you or not, or if they would simply ruin the game. You worked together to keep your streaks. I saw this happen a bunch of times as people got down to their last couple of guesses. You developed connections and shared your ideas and experiences. Other people you hadn't previously talked to very much became people you communicated with because you shared a connection with them. When someone figured out another Wordle person was sitting in class near them, they talked about the game, whether they had previously any connections or not. You learned words and how to spell them without autocorrect. You found resources and allies, whether that was a website or a trusted person to assist you to get the answer. You sought out similar games based on your interests. You maybe went along with the crowd for a little while, but if words aren't exactly your thing, now there are many options, depending on the subject matter, for people to choose from, and consequently connect with other folks who have similar interests. Wordle for geography and travel, musical or hurdle for musically inclined folks, nerdle for math, even wardle, W-A-R-D-L-E, for baseball people. I'm not kidding about this. I love it. If you're a fan of baseball, you'll love this. Don't look it up right now because you won't hear anything else I say. And maybe most importantly, you made others feel like they belonged and had a connection to someone else who was around them. In our world that's increasingly polarized and fragmented by so many issues and circumstances, it warmed my heart to see this occur. A simple game created connections between people which led to a greater sense of belonging. After a season in education where we were figuratively and literally quarantined at times, Wordle became a means to bring people together because there was something shared to discuss, and discuss you did. Now, Wordle isn't a replacement for everything you need to know to be successful in the next phase of your lives. But so many of the behaviors that came back are desperately needed for a whole litany of reasons. Wordle had a meteoric rise in popularity because it fits well within what people crave in life: predictable surprises. There's a new word every day at midnight. The word's unknown until you play. Sometimes it's a relatively simple word that's easy to figure out, like mango or pride. But other times it's complicated because you've never even heard the word before. You didn't even know it existed. Like tapir, T-A-P-I-R, which is a mammal that's like a cross between a pig and an elephant. Or rupee, which is the India currency. Even when the word is frustrating, people will log back in the next day. Thousands upon thousands of people, because they know what to expect, and yet they'll be surprised. There will be a new challenge that has to be solved. It will require strategy, cooperation, competition, discussion, and proper spelling. So Wordle on, everyone. Graduating class of 2022, you made it, you're here, you're going to be graduates. We're so very proud of all of you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Seamatter. I now present the Board of Education Director, Mr. Rob Norwood, who will accept the class of 2022.
It's my pleasure as a member of the Greeley-Evans School District Board 6 of the Education to certify that each of you has met all the graduation requirements of Northridge High School. What an honor it is to stand before you today and give you the heartfelt greetings from the Board of Education. Congratulations to you, your family, your friends, the staff, and everybody that supports you. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Education, you are now authorized to receive your individual diploma. Congratulations to each of you.
At this time, we will present the diplomas to the class of 2022. Graduating seniors' names will be read by faculty members Mrs. Brianna Ellis, Mrs. Jennifer Ballou, Mr. Darren Eckern, and Mr. Adam Cordova. The class of 2022's motto is, "Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory," by Dr. Seuss. The class flower the seniors selected is a rose. Each student will receive a rose to give to someone who has helped him or her prepare for this joyful new adventure.
Carlos Limon Gaucin.
Yesenia Guadalupe Casas Ramirez.
Ki Ha Shing.
Herminia Bocanegra Tejeda.
Dominic Michael Hess.
Jasmine Yesenia Mazariegos Rodriguez.
Jaden Blake Nelson.
Aiden Nicholas Harold.
Braden Cole Gardner Fryer.
Rachel Maria Higgins Camacho.
Kobe Luke Bevins.
Jeneleth Tere Perico Perico.
Tyler Bradley Alt.
Stephanie Pedro Gomez.
Nicholas James Garland.
Ivan De La Rocha Mendoza.
Trajan Michael Andrews.
Jaylene Lopez Loma.
Eli Samuel Wolf.
Gustavo Loma Aparicio.
Aurelius Caden Salvador de la Cruz.
Daniel Dominic Johnson.
Bonifacio Luna Alfaro.
Adrian Pampa Felix.
James Edward Bielert.
James Augustine Avilusea.
Brandon Lane McCormack.
Luis Fernando Lozoya.
Jenna Lee Hansen.
Odalis Lozoya.
Emma Nicole Dempsey.
Pamela Yamilet Perez.
Sanaya Marie Martinez.
Bella Dolid Venegas Rodan.
Ashley Kate Wolfrich.
September Marie Ortega.
Christopher Tyler Clark.
Maria Silvia Castellanos Plasencia.
Galilea Letitia Lyons.
Camila Aleca Contreras Rondon.
Bianca Christine Coleman.
Lane Allen Wright.
Arden Malia Hanig.
Kaylin Grace Young.
Shelby Ann Inlows.
Michael Lawrence Hubert Combs.
Aaliyah Marianne Vasquez.
Adrian Elias Terrones.
Alicia Victoria Duran.
Haley Marie Harmon.
Isabella Ryan Pauline.
Leo J. Gonzalez.
Hallie Ray Widler.
Cody Lane Nelson.
Emily Lynn King.
Justice Andrew Torres.
Trayton Pete Tadlock.
Felicia Rueles Arellano.
Jocelyn Nazmade Martinez Hernandez.
Andrea Alvarez Ruelas.
Diana Yaneli Madrid Vasquez.
Ezekiel Badillo Goldames.
Anaí Yesenia Retana.
Oscar Alexis Martinez Tapia.
Tamara Lynn Robledo.
Juan Ramon Gomez Juarez.
Mariana Hernandez Osuna.
Rick Anthony Ortiz.
Vivian Leon.
Nehemias Jesus Zarate Pelico.
Emily Esmeralda Galindo.
Roman Andrew Valdez.
Will Richard Thomas Van Buskirk.
Michael Di Alva.
Braden Sean Velasquez.
Alexis Rosa Serrano.
Darren Manuel Sandoval.
Adrian Delgado.
Kira K. Villarreal.
Jose Guadalupe Delgado Corchado.
Taylor Marie Aragon Vaughn.
Valerie Rose Pacheco.
Riley Elise Walter.
Perla Gomez Ornelas.
Nicholas Joseph Martinez.
Karen Arele de Santiago Torres.
Jasmine Maria Galloway.
Lizzie Ortiz Oleg.
Faith Caitlin Lundstrom.
Emily Correas Lopez.
Catherine Lee Vogels.
Erica Adriana Arrives Juarez.
Carla Sarai Talaska.
Kimberly Gonzalez Dominguez.
Kevin Osvaldo Ailon Mendoza.
Victoria Rosenda Alanis.
Riley Royce Schaefer.
Marlena Ane Bocanegra Gonzalez.
Jose Manuel Gomez Barraza.
Joanna Macias Molinar.
Brian Gonzalez Munoz.
Waldemar Koch Moran. Waldemar Koch Moran.
Miguel Ángel García Ocon.
Kevin Enrique Sanek Ruiz.
Emilio Villafuerte Silva.
Miguel Ramos.
Brianna Torres.
Melanie Crystal Huevano Casillas.
Arely Orozco.
Esmeralda Garcia Alacon.
Judith Loma.
Karen Oveda Rascon.
Daisy Ruby Vicente Velázquez.
Devany Granillo Pena.
Jeremiah Jared Nuanez.
Omar Carmona Quiniche.
Evelyn Berta Nevares.
Leslie Alejandra Garcia Miranda.
Maguire Luciano Silva.
Joel Martinez Garcia.
Eliobez Núñez Martínez.
Alejandra Mollis.
D'Angelo Laranés Lujan.
Julissa Antonio.
Andrew Rubén de la Fuente.
Jacqueline Vicente Raimundo.
Dylan Yarir Correa Hernández.
Jennifer Pamela Castillo Cortez.
Iván Yarali Arrámbula Gutiérrez.
Wiley K. Dickinson.
Saúl Sánchez.
Nathan Lee Buderis.
Blaine Douglas Pettingale.
Colin Christopher Gilly.
Tabitha Lee Chapman.
Isaiah Nicholas Shepard.
Samuel Román López.
Eric Alexander Childers.
Efren José Almeda.
Sean Michael Holm.
Aliyah Ayana Flores.
Mia Imogen Gonzalez.
Verónica Isabel Remington.
Elsa Sofia Lopez.
Daniela Díaz López.
Lluvia Lucero de Jesus Garcia.
Shahaira Chávez Ibarra.
Alexia Natalie Morfin Romero.
Junior Navarro.
Madison Janae Lansford.
Kelsey Soshana Lagos.
Lizette Valeria Villalobos Salas.
Natalie Vega.
Jennifer De Jesus.
Chloe Ann Garcia.
Giselle Gordo Gonzalez.
Liliana Rebecca Ramos.
Cindy Juanita Bretado Pena.
Héctor Eduardo Carrillo Rivas.
Angela Carrera.
Ethan Dennis Johnson.
Alex Jaden Walter.
Theron Anthony Lee Roybal.
Isaac Ray Diamond.
Edgar Mendoza Hernández.
Annabelle May Biggs.
Michael Rios.
Gutierrez.
McKenna Elizabeth Lopezi.
Starla Jacqueline Martinez.
Ángel Guillermo Hernández.
Sarah Ann Fretwell.
Claudia Lisette Álvarez.
Jet Scarlett Chavez.
Celeste Huerta Castañeda.
Eduardo Castro Vasquez.
Rodolfo Rudy Alarcón Jr.
Angel Alejandro Valencia.
Ashlyn Carmen Cox.
Jorge Vasquez Rascon.
Juan Carlos Vázquez Hernández.
Natasha K. Ferreira.
Giovanni D'Angelo Mendez.
Miguel Angel Garcia Hernandez.
Dalton Taylor Campbell.
Kellen Edgar Hicks.
Carbon Lee Brink.
George Spencer Poladichek.
Kobe Dean Schmidt.
Tanner Michael Page.
Jason Vicente Vicente.
Victor Guzman Lopez.
Luis Giovanni Ramirez Guzman.
Eric Bonilla Carrillo.
Nicolás Costilla Ibarra. Iván Tyrone Cervantes.
Dylan Jacob Romero.
Ethan Eugene Pugh.
Isaac Alexander Vigil.
Darian Laney Jones.
Nicholas Ross DeBay.
Marley Michelle Poland.
Kayla Garcia.
Alexis Christine Barber.
Usaidullah Abdullah.
Victoria Elizabeth Perales.
Devon Capone Rodriguez.
Diego Martinez Romero.
Nizaya Pizarro. Marcus Joseph Richards. Jared Carrillo Gonzalez.
At this time, I would like to welcome Yesenia Casas Ramirez, Student Body President, back to the stage for the changing of the tassels. Yesenia has many fond memories of her time here at Northridge High School. One such memory was helping devise the infamous Anything But a Backpack Day. This unique day was a favorite for staff and student, and the whole day was filled with laughter. Please join me in welcoming Yesenia Casas Ramirez to the podium.
It has been 1,371 days. 1,371 days since we said our first hellos and made our first marks as freshmen, Cubs. Today, it will come to an end. We will begin to say our final goodbyes and truly leave our last marks as seniors, Grizzlies. Just like so, I want to remind you all of something. We are a process. Each day we are evolving. The person you were coming in as a freshman is not the same person you are graduating today as a senior. And now, in this next chapter in life, you can continue to evolve into the person you want to be. We chose the song to represent our class and to be hung in the columns of Northridge High School. With that being said, as we set forth with our lives, let us do it with the pursuit of happiness. I am truly proud of each and every single one of us, and I wish nothing but the best for all of us. It was truly an honor being your student body president. Seniors, please rise. Class of 2022, we may now move our tassels from right to left. Congratulations.
You are welcome to throw your hats. You ready? Go! Thank you for joining us in celebration of the graduation of the Northridge High School class of 2022. Graduates, a reminder to pick up your diploma and other senior items behind the stage before you leave. Everyone, please enjoy our senior song, Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi. Congratulations, class of 2022.